Hey, what's okay, it's Davis here, and today I'll be doing my full review of the Tecno Spark 22 Plus right here. I'll be talking about the things that I liked and the things that I actually like about this device in my time using it. So basically the pros and cons, and we're going to start off talking about the pros. So the first thing that I really liked about this device in my time using it was the display. The display on this phone is 6.78 inches, so it's really big, and it says makes for a good media consumption experience. So if you're watching movies, playing games, stuff like that, you're going to really enjoy because of the very large screen area that you have on here, and also the quality on it is really good with the AMOLED technology they have on here. So basically you have very deep blacks, and yeah, it being AMOLED has also allowed for you to get this horizon display, which is very solid, very nice, and also you can now have an in-display fingerprint scanner, which is also quick and nice. So the display on here is really A+, and on top of that you also have 120Hz, which makes for a good experience. So the animations are smooth, everything is flawless. So a very nice experience when it comes to the display. Really can't fault this display at all. Maybe it's also a curved display, curved panel. I know that's not everyone's favorite thing. Personally, I don't really have too much of an issue with curved displays, but the only downside with them for me is I usually struggle to get a proper screen guard for these types of screens. But it's a good thing that Tecno included the screen guard in the box. So yeah, when you're buying this device, you can just go to the person you're purchasing it from or the store, and then you ask them to install it for you if you can't install it yourself. So at least that's a very good thing that Tecno included the screen guard in the box. Right, so that's about the display. The display on here is really good, flawless, AMOLED, 1080p, and it has 120Hz, and it's also very bright outdoors. So can't really fault the display on this device. Really nice. Right, so moving on to the speakers on this device. So the speakers on this Spark 22 Plus here are really good. So you have a speaker at the bottom here, and at the top as well, right here. So you have dual stereo speakers on here. Very nice quality, obviously for the price. They're not the best speakers I've had on a device, even a mid-range device, but they're really decent. And in combination with this very nice display, you have a very good device for media consumption. So yeah, I really like the speakers on this device. They're very solid, but at the top end they can distort a little bit, but for the most part, so the quality is good, and the bass is also decent. Not the best I've had, but decent. Yeah, that's about the speakers. And for the cameras in here, I'd say the cameras are actually very usable. So you have your main sensor here, which is 108 megapixels, and it takes decent video. The video quality is actually very nice. You can record up to 2K, which is Quad HD, and also at the front here you have the 32 megapixel camera that can also record up to 2K. Yeah, so basically Quad HD video, and the photos on here are also very decent, and but mostly I've been impressed by the video quality. It's really usable, and at this price point, I think it's a really very decent package altogether when it comes to the cameras. Generally, for the cameras, considering the price of this device, I think they're very decent, though the lack of an ultra is also noticeable missing feature. And you don't have an ultra wide camera, but you get a very good 108 megapixel camera that also allows for better zoom and stuff like that. So yeah, you get the sharp photos and stuff like that, but for the most part, I'd say the cameras are decent for this price point. The only noticeable missing feature here is the ultra wide, as I said. Other than that, I'd say the cameras are very good for the price. Moving on to the battery. So the battery in here is 5000 mAh, and I haven't really had any issues. The battery in here is really good. I played games, watched a few videos, recorded with this phone, and not really had to charge it many times. And when I did to charge it, actually charges relatively very fast with a 33 watts charger that you get in the box. So that's very good, and I can actually notice that this phone charges faster than the A54 that I use all the time. So charging speeds are very good, and the battery life is also very nice. So the other thing I want to talk about is the performance. So you have the MediaTek Helio G99 on here, and it has been decent for the most part. You're not going to get the best performance at maximum graphics in most games. That's if it's even supported. Like in Call of Duty, you don't really have the best graphic settings available, but for the ones that you have available, it does a decent job, as you guys can check out in my dedicated gaming reviews of this device. It really performs okay for the most part. I also played eFootball on it, played a few games on here, and I'll say the performance on here is really decent. I also tested the RAM management and haven't had any issues. You have 8 GB of storage, 8 GB of RAM rather, that you get, and you can also extend that to 16 GB using this virtual memory feature that Tecno provides. So yeah, for the most part, yeah, RAM management has also been very good. So performance generally is good. So the performance generally in here is really solid. That's about the performance. So the other thing I want to talk about that I really like on this device is this styling and design. You can actually easily mistake this for a much more expensive device. The back here is really nice. It's a slim device, not heavy, and you have very slim bezels all around, even. So generally the design on this phone is really good. You have many colors. I think the most popular color is the green with gold rails, which I think was the launch color. We have that magic skin that Tecno uses at the back, but even this black version is actually very decent looking, and I actually think it looks elegant in this black color. People mistake it for more expensive phones like the Huawei phones. Now with this camera design, generally I've said that the design on here is really good. Though the materials are not the best because you have plastic all over, but yeah, for the styling of it, I can say it's really looks good. I haven't had any issues with the style on this phone. Really looks good, nicely designed. The other thing I really like is the fact that you have NFC, which will allow for contactless payments. So yeah, that's a very good feature. Though I know many people don't use it, but I know for those who really need it for things like contactless payment, yeah, something that is very nice to have on this device. So I think that's about all the things that I liked about the Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus right here. Now we're going to move on to the cons, the things that I don't really like about this device. The first thing that I don't really like about this device, the Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus here, is the fact that you don't have an ultra-wide camera on this device. I think Tecno would have done a better job if they had maybe taken, for example, 50 megapixel camera and also provided an ultra-wide rather than providing this 108 and removing the ultra-wide altogether. So yeah, you don't have an ultra-wide camera on here. So if you're a person who likes recording in a wide field of view, yeah, you don't have that. The wide field of view, you're not going to have an ultra-wide on here. So that's a noticeable omission from this device. You don't have an ultra-wide camera, right? I think I don't really like about this phone is that you don't have a guaranteed software updates. So Tecno doesn't really say how many software updates you're going to be getting, even when you'll be getting them. You know, you get a few updates here and there at launch, but in the years to come, I mean, you want to be buying a phone being sure that maybe you have 2 or 3 software upgrades to come, but with Tecno phones, you're never sure, especially with these mid-range ones. Yeah. So you're not sure how many software updates, major software upgrades you're going to be getting with the Spark 20 Pro Plus right here. At least at the time of making this video, I haven't heard of any official communication on the number of software updates that we'll be getting right here. And the other thing I don't really like about this device is actually this is not an issue of this device, but more of an issue with Tecno's iOS. So every time you open certain apps, especially something like this eFootball right here, you don't have a way of forcing this application to use the entirety of the screen, which kind of makes for a very weird shape where this side is curved at the bottom and then at the top you have this black bar. I mean, Samsung provides a way that you can force the application to use the entirety of the screen. I think even Xiaomi has a solution for that. But yeah, Tecno had this feature in the past with their devices. They had the feature with their devices with the phone that I reviewed, the Spark 5 back in the day, but it was omitted, and ever since they have not really brought that back. So you can see that you don't actually have a way of forcing the application to use the entirety of the screen when you start playing games. Certain games, yeah, that's another thing I don't really like. Could actually be even a deal breaker for me, because like, when you have such a beautiful display, you really want to enjoy it to the max. Yeah. The other thing that was omitted from this device is the SD card, which is a bummer, because you cannot really push the storage to any bigger size. So what you get with this device is 256 GB on all models, which is good and generous from Tecno, but they really never had a reason to omit the SD card slot. It would have been a nice feature to keep. You know, if I want to extend my storage, I can do that. But now, you're only stuck with what you get. So if 256 GB is not enough for you, yeah, you're gonna have trouble with this device. Yeah, I think that this phone lacks is obviously 5G, but I know that's not a big deal, at least not yet for most people. Yeah, but it's a noticeable omission from this device. And the last one that I would have is to do with the display. Though it's something small and minor, it has to do with accidental touches on the display. So Tecno provided a feature that can help you try to, you know, have a solution to that, like not having to touch and have accidental touches all the time. But by doing that, they limit, like, they stop you from being able to use this part of the display, like on the edges here. So that really limits how much room you have to touch stuff. So you can have an application that is actually bleeding. If you want to touch something that is very close to the edge, you end up not being able to, because it's how they have that mistouch prevention feature that stops you from touching stuff on the edge. So it can be frustrating sometimes. You may think that the screen is just not responsive, but it's actually that mistouch feature they have that stops you from clicking things that are very close to the edge if you have enabled it. But you can turn that off. So that's generally about the, I would say that generally it's a very, very good device. And if someone was to ask me a phone within this price range, I think it's an easy recommendation. For what it gives you, you have a solid chipset in the MediaTek Helio G99 Ultimate. You have good RAM, 8GB that can be extended up to 16 with the virtual memory. You also get to 56 GB of base storage, which is very good. Very good on here. You have decent cameras that can record up to Quad HD on both back and front with the 108 megapixels that you get at the back. Very sharp. So you also get stereo speakers. So generally, I'll say that this is a proper good package from Tecno, and it's a phone that I can easily recommend. If you're thinking about purchasing this phone and you're not like a very, very heavy gamer, you don't want to push games to the very max and stuff like that, I think generally for most people this is going to be a very solid device to buy. That's all I have to say about the Tecno Spark 20 Pro Plus. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.